and Matter study guide before the test. Of course, you can pause the video at any time so that you can change or fix your answers so that you have the right information to study from. Number 1 says list 4 gases, 4 liquids, and 4 solids. So for gases, I listed carbon dioxide, helium, water vapor, humidity. Of course, you could have, and remember, humidity is just water vapor, right? So of course, you could have other ones than what I have, but here are just some examples. For liquids, I listed milk, juice, water, vinegar, oil, anything that flows, remember, as a liquid. For solids, a mouse, ice, wax, ice again, humans, anything that's solid, wood, okay, has a definite shape. Number 2, what's the definition of matter? It's anything that has weight and takes up space. Number 3, the definition of a solid is a state of matter with a definite shape and volume. Number 4, what is the definition of a liquid? It's when atoms slide past each other, they flow and take the shape of the container. Move this up to the top here. Number 5, what is the definition of a gas? It's a vapor. Particles move freely, low density. Most gases are invisible. The definition of temperature is a measurement of the average motion of the particles in a substance. Remember, temperature measures actual motion, okay? Number 7, what's a thermometer and how does it work? It's a tool that helps us measure this average motion of the particles in a substance, right? And what it does is the liquid at the bottom of the tube expands and moves up the tube, or cools and moves down the tube. Number 8, what happens as particles of matter heat up? They speed up and move faster and expand. Let me move this up a little bit more. Number 9, what happens as particles of matter cool down? Well, when the particles cool down, they slow down and they contract. Number 10, thermal motion is actually heat. Remember, and heat moves from warmer to cooler matter. Number 11, what is the difference between heat and temperature? Heat is the motion of particles, and temperature is the measurement. Number 12, how do particles move in a solid? They move really slow, but they vibrate. Number 13, how do particles move in a liquid? They slide around at a medium speed. Number 14, how do particles move in a gas? They move rapidly or freely, just all over the place. Number 15, describe how solid chocolate can become a liquid. Solid chocolate can become a liquid when you heat it up. So as it warms up, the particles speed up, and once it reaches melting point, the particles start to slide past each other, and then they become a liquid. Number 16, melting point is the temperature at which a substance changes from a solid to a liquid. Boiling point is the temperature at which a substance changes from a liquid to a gas. And freezing point is the temperature at which a substance changes from a liquid to a solid. Please remember to write down any questions you might have or like any confusion you might have so I can talk about it before we take the test. Number 19, in which direction does heat flow? Heat flows from warmer to cooler. Remember when we used our hand and we put it on our desk and our hand actually warmed up the desk? That's actually how it works. The desk doesn't cool down our hand. Our hand warmed up the desk because we lost energy to the desk. Temperature measures the average kinetic energy of the particles in a substance. Remember, kinetic energy is motion energy. Okay, explain how convection currents by using a diagram, which is a picture with labels. This would be any fluid, which could be a gas or a liquid. A warm current rises, and then as it cools, the cooler current sinks, and then it carries heat with it, okay? Number 22, how is kinetic energy related to the temperature of a substance? So the more kinetic energy or motion energy that a substance has, the higher the temperature of that particular substance. Number 23, how does conduction transfer heat? And give an example. So conduction transfers heat when a warm liquid or gas would be a fluid, right? From one place to another. And some examples, baking, like in an oven, water boiling, warming your hands over a fire, not next to a fire, but over a fire, because over the fire has the rising gases. If it was next to a fire, it would be radiant energy because the heat from the light is warming hands, right? So the hands have to be over. 24, the definition of radiation, and give an example. So radiation is the transfer of energy from one place to another without the use of matter. And it's usually in the form of light. So light from a fire or heat from the sun or in a microwave. Number 25, a cup holds water at 70 degrees Celsius. A bathtub holds water at 70 degrees Celsius. A pond is 70 degrees Celsius. So we have a small amount of water, a little bit bigger form of water, and a lot of water. Which one has more energy and why? So the pond has more thermal energy because it has more mass. More mass is more thermal energy. I made a mistake with 26 and repeated 22 there. Your paper should have that deleted already. 27, which would be your now 26. What is the definition of a conductor? It's any materials that allow the flow of thermal energy, so heat, okay? Definition of an insulator is any material that prevents heat transfer. 29, how is radiation different from conduction and convection? Conduction and convection need matter to transfer heat, but radiation does not need matter. It doesn't need matter to travel from one place to the other. Number 30, the definition of thermal energy is the total amount of kinetic energy contained in all the particles of a substance. All right, make sure that you write down all the questions that you might have so I can address them tomorrow before the test, or the next class before the test. Have a good one.